Justin, let's jump on in.
All right, so 6 hidden AOV boosters that copywriters and offer owners can use to make more sales. Really, this is actually AOV and LTV. So let's go over and kind of set the standard here. Why is it so important to have a high AOV? So AOV stands for average order value, for anybody who doesn't know that. Couple reasons here. So the higher your AOV, the more money you can pay for each sale, which means you can get more customers. And the entire point of this game, the main focus for every business in direct response, is to get more customers. That's really the business that we're in. We're in the customer acquisition business. And the higher your AOV, that means the more you can pay for each sale, the more customers you can get. Does that make sense to everybody? Yep. Awesome. So to kind of give you an example, like if I can pay $250 to make a sale, and you could only pay $200 to make a sale, I'm going to make a whole lot more sales than you because I can pay a lot more to get that customer. And here's kind of a good example of how this works scaling-wise. So if I can only pay $200 a sale, I might be able to do 80 sales a day. But if I could pay $250 a sale, I could do 500 sales a day. And like I said, that all comes back to AOV. Like obviously you could pay more and go super, super negative and just hope you make it up on the back end, but most business owners don't like doing that because it causes tons of cash flow issues. There's a lot of risk in doing that. So if you can get the AOV up higher, you can pay more and you can scale infinitely higher than if you could pay less. And
it's like a 25% increase on your average order value, but it leads to like a 400% increase in the amount of sales you can do. So it's very, it's exponential almost, and as far as the AOV and the sales, I want to point that out too.
Yep.
I did that math pretty well.
So to kind of point this out too for the copywriters, as I mentioned a little bit before, if you're a copywriter, you can charge a whole lot more per project if you're a strategist and not just a copywriter. So if they're not just saying, hey, I need you to write this and I'm going to pay you X amount of money, but instead you're coming to them or you're partnering with them a little bit and like, okay, let's try this, this, and this, or I have ideas about how we can do this, that completely changes everything. And like I said, helping a business to increase their AOV is worth a lot of money. Anytime, this is true in any industry. If you can help other people make a ton of money, they're usually very glad to pay you a bunch of money. Like, I think one of the best examples is like if you look in entertainment, someone like Steven Spielberg gets $100 million, $200 million to make huge movies like Jurassic Park and all the other stuff he made. Why? Because he makes Warner Brothers $1 billion. They're very glad to give him a bunch of money to do that. You see it in stuff like songwriting. I forget the guy's name. There's some Swedish dude who writes all these hip-hop songs for like Taylor Swift and Britney Spears and basically every huge pop star. The guy's worth like $200-something million. Yeah, Max Martin, that's his name. He's worth like $200-something million. The guy might be an absolute idiot in every single other aspect of his life, but he knows how to write a killer pop song, and he's super wealthy because of it. So point being, if you can make other people a bunch of money, you're going to be able to make a bunch of money. So all the copywriters on here, instead of thinking yourself as just a copywriter, try to think yourself a little more as a strategist when it comes to a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about here. All right, so like I said, getting higher AOV, it's in the best interest of both the offer owner and the copywriter. So let's look at 6 of the best AOV boosters that you can use to scale an offer. Now, I want to go over a couple notes before we start this. So we're not including like super obvious stuff like upsells, bump sells, multi-offers, which would be like a 1-3-6 quantity, exit pop offers, stuff like that. We're already assuming that you're using those, so these are kind of advanced stuff beyond that. All of that stuff is super, super important. So if you don't have like that stuff in place, that would be the first thing to do. But we're not going to talk about any of that stuff in this. And then also, we are sharing 6 different things here. Don't feel like you have to implement every single one of these that we talk about. The last thing we want to do is overwhelm you with like too much stuff and you don't do anything. So find the one thing that's going to really move the needle either for you or for your clients and use that one. That's going to be different for everybody depending on the situation that you're in. All right, with that said, let's dive in. Who's ready? Give me some love in the chat to tell me you're ready for this.
There's been a bunch of great takeaways. People are putting awesome observations and things like that in here.
Number 1, AOV Booster, thank you page offers. So most people are decent at upsells and downsells. However, very few people actually make money with their thank you page. And it's one of those just easy things that you can do in an hour or two to significantly increase the AOV. So what is a thank you page for all the people who are like, I don't know what the hell a thank you page is? Let's kind of break it down. It's really the last page in the funnel after the upsells where you confirm that their order is done. So they buy the product, they go to the checkout page, and then you put them through some upsells, you put them through some downsells. Depending on, sometimes you might have 3 or 4 upsells, sometimes you might have 2, whatever. That's not really, the big point is after all that, you're going to get to the confirmation page or the thank you page. And this is where you're going to have additional offers for them. So what does a good thank you page look like? We're going to go over some examples here. So I'm going to share a couple examples from Patriot Health Alliance, which is my old company. Out of everybody I've seen do thank you pages, I think they do it the best. So I think their example is probably the best to share here. So you can kind of see a little bit now. We're going to click on it and pull it up, but you can kind of see a little bit. They're landing on this page. It's got a big thing at the top that lets the customer know that the funnel is done. Your order's been received. All of that. We're going to ship everything out to you. Congratulations, your order's complete. It's got a little bit of copy at the beginning, and then I'll break it down a bit underneath this once we can get it pulled up. Malai, can you control like scrolling up and down on it a little bit?
Yeah, we just want to be able to see it. We just need to be able to see it too. Okay, I see it scrolling in there. But
so stop it right there. So one of the things that they have kind of pretty quickly in, there's an option to sign up for their text club. I can't remember. I don't know if I can't see the screen right now, so I don't know if you're on that part. So they have a text club, which they're going to text you offers a couple times a week, actually. So that's one thing that a lot of people don't do, but that's definitely adding AOV to it. Can you scroll down to the part where there should be like an offer? Keep scrolling. There you go, where that green offer is. Yeah, that looks good right there. So what they have here is, and this worked really, really, really well when I was at Patriot Health Alliance. This is basically just a last chance offer. So this is actually the offer they bought on the front end, and then it was offered to them in the upsell, and now we're offering it to them again. And there's actually a countdown timer on there, so they only have like 30 minutes to take it, so it adds a lot of scarcity. I saw Malai's popping the link in the chat, so you can click on it and check it out. This converts super, super well. You'd be shocked at the fact that people already bought this product, have seen this in the upsell, yet buy it again on the thank you page. I highly, highly recommend. I've seen it done in, I would say, 4 different niches now, and it works in all of them. So significant AOV boost by offering them kind of a one-time offer on the thank you page. Let's scroll down and look at some of the other. So all it is just that green button is just a one-click upsell, just like a normal upsell. Scroll down a little bit further. Let's look at some of the other offers. Okay, keep it right there. So then they have 3 more offers there that are also one-click upsells. So these are all, I'm pretty sure for this one, these are all the same stuff you just got offered in the upsell funnel as well, which seems, like I said, so counterintuitive because, like, why the hell would you take it now if you just said no to it 10 seconds ago? But the stats say otherwise. A lot of people, it's like they think this is their last chance, and they add it to their order right here. So having multiple offers on the thank you page, so you have that one kind of big main offer, and then you have these other ones. The cool thing about how they do this is, like, not only can you add these, but they're also like quantities. So like some of these you can add like 5, 10. So like you can get a decent AOV boost just from that because somebody's buying, I don't know, 5 water filters or 5 survival food things.
Justin, Daniel Lamet asked, is this a duplicate of the main offer or some kind of enhancement? These are enhancements, right? Like upsells again, you're re-showing the upsells and additional offers?
The first upsell is pretty much a dupe of what they bought on the front end. It's literally just more, they bought 5 bottles of the supplements and they're getting offered like 5 more of it again. It's kind of like an upsell. Connor said, are these still one-click offers? Yes. Super important question. These are all one-click offers, which it just adds it straight to their order, just like an upsell. So they don't have to enter any more. If they had to enter their information, you're going to just kill that conversion. That sale is not going to happen. So Josh said, what's the difference between a thank you page and an upsell, or are they the same? They're definitely different. I mean, the upsell, you're going to have a lot more copy. You're going to really like try to sell them on something. This is really, like I said, just like a last chance offer. And people buy stuff on the thank you page. Like I said, it seems counterintuitive, but they do it.
It definitely works for information products. I know somebody asked, does this work about information products? But yeah, for sure.
It really works. I mean, I think it works better for this where you can just see the product and like add it, like whereas an information product you'd have to explain so much. But even like Agora does it with a lot of their newsletter subscriptions on their thank you page. You can add different newsletter subscriptions. So if you bought a thing on options, you might be interested and another thing on dividend stocks, and you can just add it to your order there. So it's one of these things, like I said, it's really, there's no losing about it. You're kind of dumb to not have thank you page orders if you know how to do it. So
For sure, yeah. I have 2 more questions, and we'll answer as many as we can. We do have to keep going too, but I know Gabe said, do they get charged multiple times if their order is confirmed? Yeah, they do. I mean, think about it from a coding perspective. If they click the orange button, you could have a piece of text appear that just says, "Perfect, this has been added to your order." Or if you feel like you want to be like, "All right, please confirm that you want to add this to your order," click again, right? Like, just that's as simple as you doing that part. But yeah, and then G asked, what about a thank you page after people opting into your landing page? I mean, test that, right? That could absolutely work as well.
I mean, after somebody opts into a landing page, you definitely should try to sell them something.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't normally do a thank you page.
Yeah, there'd be like a VSL or a sales letter or whatever. You need something to liquidate the cost of the traffic you're running to that page. So that spot, I would definitely just put a sales letter or something like that. So let's look at kind of breaking this one down. So the thank you page that we just showed you, it does a great job of maximizing the AOV. So you resell them on your other products. There's one kind of countdown offer with a timer. They also, like I said, get them on a VIP text club list where they text them offers like 2 or 3 times a week that are like special offers they can't get anywhere else. So think how much this is increasing the AOV for them. It's a significant amount. By the way, so far, has this been helpful for everybody? Is this something that you think you could use in your business or in a client's business?
Recommend to a client, yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. We're just starting, too.
Wonderful. That's only 1 of 6.
So let's look at example number 2 of an easy thank you page. This is the lazy man's thank you page, brought to you by none other than Mike Geary, the super lazy when it comes to this stuff. Can we click on that link as well? So to give everybody context, this is people buying an info product from Mike called the Diabetes Fix, which is like an info product on, I think it's basically like a paleo-style diet to help people who have blood sugar issues. This is the thank you page. It's pretty basic. So let's scroll down to that first offer with the purple supplements. So it says surprise bonus. I can't read it that well from here, but from what I remember, you get a free trial to try this supplement for 2 weeks. It's a nerve supplement, which I don't really know the medical connection that has with diabetes, but I know there's a connection.
Yeah, generally diabetics have nerve pain and neuropathy, diabetic neuropathy, stuff like that.
Okay, so it's a great kind of targeted offer for somebody who just bought a diabetes product. So these are, one thing to note, these are all just affiliate offers. So like I said, I call this the lazy way because Mike's not doing anything except just slapping a bunch of affiliate offers onto this page and making money from it. So let's scroll down to the second one. So the second one is a free book, which is an Agora offer. It's some type of basically like senior health guide, which I'm sure they know converts well because Mike really only puts offers on here that convert well to his list. So once he has these buyers, he knows which offers are going to work, and then he plops those onto this page, which is really, really smart. Let's scroll down to the next one. I can't read this one, but I think it's an inflammation thing from what I remember. So yeah, which is pretty tied in with diabetes, blood sugar issues, because there's always some type of inflammation going on that makes that happen. So the last one is I think it's Joe Barton's offer. Joe Barton, Copy Accelerator member.
Joe Barton.
Joe has a diabetes offer or a blood sugar offer that I believe is a cinnamon type supplement. And this is just kind of an ad for that to get them to click through. It's an ad that's kind of disguised as content. So like I said, this is a truly lazy man's way to do thank you page offers, but it works really, really well. And like if you're not doing anything at all, slapping this up in 30 minutes is going to make you a good amount of money that you weren't making before. So does that make sense to everybody so far, the 2 examples that we just showed? So one thing I just kind of want to recap there. So Mike's had all the offers were a good fit for someone who bought a diabetes book. That's obviously super important. You want it to be congruent with what they just bought. So there's the nerve pain thing, the senior health book, inflammation book, and another diabetes thing. So my kind of experience of what works on thank you page offers, re-offering them what you offered in the upsells, so just offer that again. Promoting one of the, 1, 2, 3 offers that convert best to your list. These could be affiliate offers. They could be offers that you guys own. Promoting those again work really well. And if you have any type of higher ticket stuff, like if you're selling a mastermind or a coaching program or something like that, asking them to book a call to talk to one of your coaches or one of your salespeople or whoever, that works really, really well on the thank you page as well. So yeah, in my experience, like I said, thank you page offers add anywhere from $5 to $10 to your AOV, possibly a lot more if you're doing high ticket stuff. And they're super easy to implement. They only take a few hours. So there's really no reason not to have them. I'm going to turn it over to Stefan, and we're going to go into AOV Booster number 2.
All right. Number 2 is outbound phone sales to your customers. For all offer owners here who aren't doing that, it's a massive missed opportunity, and I want to share actual numbers on this stuff with you. So, for those of you, a lot of you know I own a call center called Turtle Peak. I've got several clients, a lot of people in health, but honestly, e-com, like golf products, coaching, all kinds of different kind of niches and things of that nature. And but this started for me with my first health supplement company. I just want to show, you can see the ones that are highlighted in yellow. I went through our old connective stats from 2017 and just searched phone. And you can just sort of see the far right is like the revenue being done on these ones. So, there's like several pages of these, right? So this is like 17,000, 25,000, 15,000, 16,000. Here's another one, 22,000, 26,000, 22,000, 31,000. We had a ton of different campaigns going, in the 50s for some of them, 60, I think it says 65 or 85 down there. 86,000, 124,000, 135,000.
That's for like a whole month, or
those are over the course of like close to a year, but it's still basically, I don't know if I put it in here or not, but it's over $1 million. I think it was like $1.5 million in like additional like revenue or something like that that we generated from just like phone calling our customers, basically. So that shit adds up, right? That was for us internally, but we're doing it for clients currently. This isn't a pitch for Turtle Peak, but the point is, we actually weren't doing any outbound, and then a company called Blue Vase that does like TV infomercials approached us and was like, hey, we're going to do outbound to your customers, and we'll take like 50%. And I was like really resistant to it for some reason, and I, like in hindsight, have no idea why. But after a couple of months, they were doing 20, 30, 40,000 a month, and this was earlier on, but that we were getting half of that. So suddenly, and your margin is super high because you're not paying a CPA. I mean, paying them 50%, that cuts into it. But even then, like your CPA is usually going to be 50% the cost per acquisition. So I think inbound stuff is awesome, and you should have that too. I think you should actually have a phone number on your checkout page and your landing pages if you can get away with it. The challenge is if you're running affiliates are running your offer, they don't want you to have a phone number because they don't want customers to call and you don't give them their CPA every time that they make a sale. But honestly, like we would put our phone numbers on stuff all the time because people would call in and we would just sell them more and it put our CPA got lower. But I want to talk more about outbound today, and specifically two things: partials and declines, and then welcome calls. So, partials are also known as abandoned cart like people, right? The people who are like this close to buying the product and then they stopped for whatever reason. But when you call them on the phone, it's really easy to push them over the edge. Because they're talking to a real person, they see that you're a real brand, and then they get that push they need. I always talk about with abandoned carts and partials, same thing. Like being like when someone doesn't buy, it's why do they stop? They're halfway through filling out the checkout page in the form, and then they stop. Well, what happened? Like, oh, they changed their mind. Maybe. If they changed their mind, why did they really change their mind? Is this really going to work? Is it a scam? Do I really need this? Right? All those kinds of questions. That's one category. But as some people are putting in the chat, there's trust, but there's also just distraction, right? Like you're halfway through, and then your daughter starts crying, or your dog starts barking, and somebody's at the door, or you realize that you actually have to go to an appointment, right? Things like that. It's like they either don't believe you, but again, the Uber is here. Like the distraction happens, they don't finish. So when you call those people, it's very easy to get them to give them the push they need to complete the order. They were very interested. Great question. Andre said, if it's cold traffic, how do you get their phone number before they've completed the order? So for Connective or most CRMs, that honestly the ones that we recommend, You put like name, email, phone number as the top stuff in your checkout. So then you have that phone number, and that saves even if they don't complete the checkout. So you can do it as a two-step, as some people are saying, where you just show those things on the front page, or you can just put those things first and it captures it. But this is, wildly important. And then declines, for those who don't know what declines are, right? It's even lower hanging fruit. Those are people who tried to buy and the sale didn't go through for some reason. So like, why do cards get declined? Your payment processing gateway. So I don't get too technical, but maybe you're using some, it's a technical thing on your end. It could be that their bank card company doesn't recognize your brand, and so there's like a glitch or something, right? If you're buying off of Amazon, your bank's like, that seems like a safe purchase. When you're buying off of drop10poundstoday.com, your bank's like, I don't know what the fuck this is, and there's a chance that it declines your transaction. Sometimes they use the wrong card. They have like 3 credit cards. One has a full balance, 2 are wide open. They use the wrong card. They're like, fuck, I don't want to do this over again. And sometimes they're straight up broke, right? If they're straight up broke, we just let them go. We're not, the philosophy here is not calling people and saying, hey, take out a second mortgage to buy my shit, right? We're not trying to be unethical. So if they're broke, they're broke. But most of the time, when you call us customers and have them contact their bank or use a different card, it can lead to a sale. So I'll give you some real-world examples. This is one for a client in January for my call center. This is for their declines and partials. So their gross sales on those two things were $487,112. That's for 1 month, the month of January. This is literally just 2 declines and partials. You can see what the average order value is. The discount AOV is like an internal metric. You don't need to worry about that too much. You can see how many leads they had, 15,469. So we made $31.49 per lead. We made 20,381 calls, and we had to call about 1.3 times per lead to try and connect them and close them. And yes, Harrison asked, do outbound agents also pitch them on upsells? They absolutely do, and they can. So just this point here, right? Like you can start really small though. This is a big client. Here's another client from January, much smaller, lower ticket offer, but even then, $35,754 in gross sales, 340 sales, a $105 AOV, and the money per lead was $17. But even if you just hire somebody like an intern or like a college student, or if you have somebody on your team, like for my own supplement companies, I used to love partials and declines and abandons because that was just so much free money that I wasn't going to pay like a really expensive CPA on. Instead of having to pay that $120 CPA, which I want to be happy to pay it by increasing my AOV, but like now it's like by calling those people, I'm just making like way higher margin sales every time. So it's just found money. Now the second part of this I want to talk about are welcome calls. What are welcome calls, right? It's when someone from your team or your call center calls the customer who has purchased, and you do this on like day 1, day 0, day 1, pretty early on, congratulates them on their purchase and tries to sell them more. And this is the reason why this one comes into both AOV and LTV, because you're doing this on day 0 or day 1. So really this is going to increase their average order value. But you can also call these people over time, develop a relationship, and have it increase your lifetime value as well. So here's an example of like the start of a script we'll use, right? Like, hey, so-and-so, my name is blank with the blank team. How are you? Good. Great. It looks like, we're shipping your blank order out to, this address. Is that correct? Yes. Perfect. So once again, my name is blank. I'm the wellness coach here at blank. I want to go over some information with you on a recorded line and help you create a plan for success with your whatever regimen. So for example, the blank there, say that you bought a blood sugar support thing, like, success with your new blood sugar support regimen. Would that be acceptable? Right? Like, oh yeah, sure. And actually I like that we just say okay, because realistically that's what the customer is saying. Sometimes in the scripts that you'll see for call centers, the customer's like, yeah, like absolutely, I love it. Like, that's not what the customer says. The customer's like, okay, they're not like fucking thrilled, but they're talking to you. Great. So I reached out to our clients, since whatever problems or issues they're having are very case by case. Would you be willing to tell more about your situation? Okay. And then we kind of start talking about, well, how long has whatever been bothering you? Are you experiencing any blank? So how long have you been, concerned about your blood sugar challenges? Have you been experiencing ups and downs? Whatever compliant questions you can ask. But but apply this to survival, right? You're like, hey, have you been worried about having clean water for a long time? Have you experienced any kind of boil notices lately? I know Austin just had some, right? You can ask this kind of stuff here. So basically, you're asking qualifying questions. You're talking to them, and then from there, you really just go into recommending additional products. You're like, okay, cool. Well, based on the fact that water like boil notices are happening in your area, and you just bought a water purification straw. One thing that a lot of our customers are doing is they're actually buying these water purification tablets too. That way, if the straw doesn't work, yada yada. So would like us to go ahead and add that to your order today? We can actually do it for a special discount. That kind of stuff is really, really valuable. So that's as simple as it is. Here's another client, not as high as the partials and declines. I think honestly our team could be better at it, and we're still working on getting better. But for one client, it was an extra $40,000 in sales at $194 AOV. This is just from calling, customers on day 0, day 1. You can see the leads. Not as much money per lead, right? Again, I think we could be better, but it's still more found money that you're getting. Here's another one from February, $37,000 in sales, and I think I have one more for a lower ticket offer. It was like $24,000 in sales. So, yeah, I mean, I know this one is not like a copy-related thing, but at the same time, if you guys, for the offer owners that aren't doing it, it really can make a huge difference. And even as the copywriters who are here, recommending that to your client and bringing it to your client and having them try it can position you to have way more value too. I mean, if you're really enterprising, you could help set up the team that does it for a client. There's a lot of options and opportunities there. You could write them the scripts. Laura, great point from my beautiful wife, Laura Catella there. What you'll notice is that the scripts really are like little mini sales letters. You could offer to write scripts for them. There's a lot of cool things that you can do there.
One of the questions that came in, what was the impact on lifetime customer value from this type of stuff?
Yeah, significantly higher because you develop a relationship with the customers who you call. So for our agents at our call center, you'll see them legit like the customers are calling them, they're chatting. Like people are lonely, they want to have relationships, like they want to connect. So they'll actually be calling our reps on inbound after initially calling them on outbound and talking and then being like, hey, what do you have for this? Can you help me with this? Can you, so they kind of, you become like a consultative friend and you develop a really good long-term relationship there. So yeah, it's awesome for AOV, but also the lifetime value as well. And it does really help with refund rates as well because you talk to a real person, you believe more in the company, you're more invested, all of that kind of stuff here. So it's really, really neat. Justin, I'll let you go to numero tres here.
By the way, I saw a question if you guys are getting these slides, if you have to take notes. Everybody who's attending the event will get the slides. If you are a Copy Accelerator member or a Lite member, you'll actually get the videos in a couple weeks. But if you are attending the event, you're going to get all the slides. So if anything you've missed, you will get all that. So don't worry about that. Cool. Let's look at AOV Booster number 3. By the way, so far, who's got 1 or 2 ideas that they could implement either in their own business or for clients so far?
Real quick, Harrison said, is it good to do outbound for lower ticket? Yeah, but I would try to sell them higher ticket stuff. But yeah, big time. Yep, for sure.
Awesome.
100%. Plenty of ideas.
Cool. So let's hop into number 3. So AOV Booster number 3 is ride-along offers. So the best time to sell your customer something is right after they purchase, which is an upsell. That's why we do upsells, and that's why upsells work so well. The second best time is when they're actually opening your package at their house. Now, this is obviously only applicable if you're doing physical products. Doesn't work as well if you're doing digital. But when they're opening that package at their house, there's a real experience going on. There's a lot of joy. There's excitement. There's all kinds of emotions going on. It's the most exciting part, besides when they actually buy it, for them in the whole process. So this is why ride-along offers work so well, because they're getting so amped up kind of emotionally, and they're more willing to buy other stuff. So what is an actual ride-along offer? So basically it's an offer that you include in the package that contains their order. So if you send them a box with, I don't know, the supplement that they ordered, you have something in there, whether it's a magalog or a sales letter or whatever, selling them other stuff. So you see this with a lot of the smart direct response companies do that, and I'm going to show you a bunch of examples from them. So we're going to look at a couple of good examples of ride-along offers. Ride-along offers can be super easy. They can be super simple. or they can be pretty complicated. So we're going to look at a couple examples of both. This is from JD Bolt, Copy Accelerator member, who is just crushing it with an offer called Credit Secrets, basically teaching people how to fix their credit. They have this little, flyer that they insert inside this book. So you buy this book, and there's a little flyer in there. So they're selling you this program on how to fix your credit. And now this thing says, step 1, do this first before starting your program. And it tells you that you need to get your credit score first so you know what your credit score is and what that number is. Well, that website that they're sending you to, Jay and them worked out a really good affiliate deal with that website. And I don't know what they're actually getting paid out, but it could be $15, $30, $50, whatever they're getting paid out for their customers to go there and get their credit information. That is a super easy, super complimentary ride-along offer. I mean, that's like no-brainer. It's such a good fit with this offer, too, because they need to know their credit score. And that thing probably took all of 15 minutes for some 7th grade kid to make on Photoshop. And it's probably adding, 6, probably even 7 figures to their AOV. So that's a super easy way to do it with affiliate offers. Another one, catalogs that actually sell your other products. So, like I said, the 4 Patriots team, who does a lot of stuff in the survival niche, is really, really good at this. I highly recommend, actually a lot of these examples, I highly recommend just go buy something from their website that's like $20 or $30, and you'll get the product, and then you'll get some of their catalogs, and you can kind of check it out. So here's kind of what the inside of the catalog looks like. So they're selling all their other survival food packs. They're selling water filters. They're selling air purifiers. Everything they have. It's just like a traditional catalog, but they're selling you everything else they have. Anything popping up in the chat that I need to...
I'm laughing about Catherine who said, money, employ a child with a computer. But there's a question about, is there a benefit to adding a free sample with the ride-along for physical products, or would that be a waste of money?
We actually did that with our greens powder back in the day, and it worked really well. We sent them these little cards where it was like you could give this to a friend or family member, and they could go to our free trial page and get the 7 sample packs that we had. And the sample page, like if they got the sample packs, then it sent them through all the upsells trying to sell them more stuff.
That's smart.
It wasn't huge, but it added 10, 15, 20 grand a month.
Yeah, that's sick. That's nothing. Actually awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, back then that worked. But anyways, so this is a catalog offer. Basically, customers can order via the phone, online, or by mail, which to a lot of people that seems so strange. It's like, who the hell orders anything by mail? But especially if you're dealing with this demographic, which is 50, 60, 70 years old, they love ordering stuff by mail. And I actually remember I was kind of leaving the company at this time, but they implemented the mail stuff then. I remember Alan telling me it got somewhere around like a 30% bump in sales, just simply adding the option for mail-in orders. So more options, the better. So if they can order, like I said, phone, online, and mail, all 3 of those are good. At one of our masterminds we had at Traffic and Conversion, I remember Alan actually broke this down and gave us kind of some stats on how the catalogs in that did. And I remember he said it added somewhere around $1.3 million in profit to the bottom line in a year that they did I think it was $7 or $8 million in profit. So huge winner when you think about that. That's
significant.
15% of the bottom line. Pretty significant boost from just making these catalogs and sending them out with every order. One more that we did here was a gift certificate that spurs their next purchase. So this is basically a stick letter, and anybody who's not familiar with what a stick letter is, so somebody orders your thing, and then they don't get it for 7 days, 8 days, 10 days, however long it takes to get them, 40 days if you're in Australia. By the time they get it, they honestly don't even know what the hell they ordered. They completely forgot. I mean, I'm sure, how many people order something on Amazon and it shows up 3 days later and you're like, what the hell I don't even remember ordering this. It happens to everybody. So the problem is when they get your order, if you don't have any type of stick letter, they're not in the emotional frame that they were in when they bought it, because you got them all hyped up with the VSL and the sales page, and you're triggering all their buy buttons, and you got them to purchase something. Now when it comes, they're just emotionally flat, and they're like, what the hell is this? Why did I order this? So you really have to almost resell them on the product, and that's kind of what this stick letter does. And then at the bottom of the stick letter, there's a little $20 gift certificate for your next order. And I think there's a date on it where it's you got to order it within the next 30 days kind of thing. And that kind of spurs a lot of purchases. So somebody who bought, they do this with their survival food, somebody who bought a little pack of survival food that's $20, all of a sudden they're like, oh, maybe I'll use this $20 to get on the 3-month order that's $500. So yeah, these gift certificates are really, really good, and they definitely up the AOV. So one more I want to do, Magalogs. So Magalogs are really just sales letters disguised as content, and we got a couple killer Magalog writers on here. We got Carlene, Kim, all of them who have probably written millions and millions of dollars. Probably, honestly, written some of these even. So a couple of examples I have here, one from Bottom Line, one from, I think the other one's from Bottom Line in the middle, the herbal medicine one. And then the one on the end is, I forget what their company is, Soundview or something like that. So basically, these are all kind of health niche, but as you can see, they kind of look like magazines. They look like newsletters. They're really sales letters. And that's kind of what a Magalog is. It's a really cool thing, too, because you just pop it in there, and it's like kind of seems like this free report that they're getting. And they don't even realize they're being sold anything until they get kind of 15 pages in, and then they're being sold something. And they work really, really well to add to AOV. So a couple of ideas I have for when they would work. Other offers that you know work to your list, either affiliate offers or internal offers. Like, let's say you have an Agora offer. They probably have a Magalog already that you could just stick in there and have your own kind of unique URL in it. High ticket offers, this is something Steph and I honestly should do a lot better, like selling, like, well, I have my print newsletter. We should be like sending ride-along stuff in there or Magalogs to sell people into our mastermind.
Yeah.
So anytime you have high ticket stuff, so like one of the cool things they did with the 4 Patriots stuff, people would buy this little $15 thing of survival food that lasts for 3 days. One of their high ticket offers is like a 6-month supply of survival food that's like $1,500. And if they get that first one, they're like, oh, this is really cool. And then you sell them on why you should have 6 months. You scare the crap out of them and tell them why you need 6 months worth of survival food. A lot of people are going to upgrade to that. So that's a really, really smart way of how to do the Magalog and the ride-along offer. And then also, like I said, just reselling them on the upsells that they didn't already take. So that always works. So how much can Magalogs add to your AOV? Let's look at some examples. I mean, if you get, let's say, a 2% take rate, you could add $4 in AOV on a $199 product, which would be kind of similar to what you'd see with supplements. If you did 2% take rate, you could add $20 in AOV on a $2,000 product. So like in the survival food example, if you got just 2% of the people that got the Magalog to order, you're adding $20 in AOV. That's significant amount of money. At a 1% take rate, you could add $100 in AOV on a $10,000 product. And if you're in any type of realm with the mastermind or coaching programs, you send it to 100 people, one person buys it, completely changes the AOV. So that type of stuff works really well. Just to recap, for ride-along offers, complimentary affiliate offers, catalog of all your products, gift certificate, or a Magalog. And like I said at the beginning, you don't need to try to do all 4 of these. Like, figure out the one that you think is going to work best for you. Any one of these is going to kind of move the needle and increase the AOV. All right, so AOV Booster number 4, duplicating your email list. This is probably like the sexiest one on here because it's very like new. All the rest are kind of more like tried and true stuff that have been around direct response for a while, but even a lot of people. But the big thing is, like I said, a lot of people just still don't do them. So duplicating your email list, why would you want to duplicate your email list? So it's actually really simple. Your leads that you have, your buyers that you have, they're now on 2 different lists instead of just one, and you own both of those, which means more money for you. So this usually results from, I've talked to multiple people who do this with close to 100 different lists. It usually results in anywhere from 20 to 60% of the revenue that your main list generates. So list number 2, the one that you duplicate, usually results in 20 to 60% of the revenue that your main list generates. And it does not, and this is the big worry of a lot of people, is it going to affect the conversions on the first list? Is it going to affect the revenue, the sales? And it does not. So I'll give you kind of an example of what this looks like. Let's say you have a list of weight loss buyers. You're bringing in new buyers every day. You already got a good list. I'll use the V-Shred guys as an example. Let's say they have their main list, and it's called V-Shred Daily. Now all you do is simply start a second list under a different name. So like Vince is their kind of the face of their products. So let's say they want to start a duplicate list, and it's Vince Sant's Fit Tips. That's literally all it is. It's just 2 different lists, and they're kind of named different things. And you can mail them the same offers. You can mail them different offers on different days. Either way, you're going to make a ton of money. So let's kind of look at some examples. So let's say a list owner makes 50 grand per month from their main email list, which means it's a pretty solid list, and they got a bunch of people on there if they're making that kind of money. Now they have a second list now, and they're making 20,000 a month from that second list. That's an extra 240 grand per year, simply for sending one extra email per day. Does that sound like it would be worth it? Of course. A couple of questions popping in here. Do you have to have them re-opt in for the second list? How many times can you clone a list before it gets stupid? So yeah, I'm going to actually talk about that a little bit. Honestly, if I tried to tell you all the details of how to do this, it would end up being like a 5-hour talk because it is kind of complicated. So I actually have that on this slide here. There are a lot of complexities in this in terms of deliverability and the T&Cs that you need in place to do this
terms
the
and
right
conditions.
way. Yeah, your terms and conditions. If you do it the wrong way, you're going to end up in a lot of legal trouble. Honestly, in most cases, every single person that we've seen do this, we just recommend that they go to one of the people that do it. So Warrior Media, Tyler Bramlett and Ryan Saplin, they specialize in this. A couple other people do. And basically, Steph and I can connect you to people that could do it for you. But yeah, Joey's chiming in here. A lot of people are talking about you want to run it on a different ESP. You want to warm up the list too and get them clicking and get them opening before you actually start to promote offers. There's a lot of kind of fine details that go to it, but it is a pretty big AOV booster. And like I said, just duplicating the list gets you more AOV, gets you more lifetime value out of your current and future subscribers. So you can do it with like your current list, and then you can also do it with every new buyer that comes on gets split onto both lists. So huge boost in AOV if you can do that.
Cool. So AOV boost number 5 is the good old AOV money close. A lot of you are familiar with the AOV money close. However, some of you are not, and I even talked to Justin about it, and I was like, should I leave it in? Because some people know, and Justin was like, you should absolutely leave it in, because for those who aren't, it's a game changer. I was talking to somebody at the barbecue place 2 nights ago here in Austin who, I won't name them, but I think they did like $8 million last month in revenue. And a year ago, February, they were at our event and I taught the same thing. And basically, I think their AOVs were like $100 at the time, and now they're like $195, $200. And
Nice.
Their business literally, has like more than doubled just because of the AOV money close. And it's happened for me. I mean, this is how you get just significantly higher AOVs on the front end. So let's talk about it. If you already know it, it's a very good reminder. And if you've never seen it before, it is the secret for copy that will change everything for you. Right. This is from a client for the example I'm going to use. They kind of talked about, I wrote this letter for them. They had a free trial version, and I wrote like a straight sale version. They said another benefit of moving to the funnel versus the trial is the AOV increase we have seen from February to August. In February, our AOV for 30-day revenue was $54.08, and our AOV for the lifetime cycle of the trial was $251.90. In August, our AOV has averaged $301.40 for 30-day orders, not only a massive jump from the $54 of the trial offer, but an improvement over the $251 of the 6-month order value in February. So massive difference. Yes, it's against the trial, but let's not ignore the fact that my not trial version was giving them like a $300 AOV. I don't think I put it in here, but I think they said their ROAS, their return on ad spend on the email drops they were doing was something like, it was like 255% on average or something like that. So for every dollar they spent on email, they're getting $2.55 back. Just a huge benefit. So, the way the AOV money close works, for any time you have different quantities. So a 1, 3, 6 package, you have a starter pack, a pro pack, an advanced pack. It does not have to be physical though, because you could have a bronze level, a silver level, and a gold level, and you're just selling the shit out of the gold level. This example will be around Nutra, and it's an offer that I'm using as an example. So here's how it goes, and we're going to break it down. I have some screenshots from this letter. It's for a stem cell support product I wrote. I'll be honest with you, not all the copy in here is compliant. As many of you know, I moved more towards higher compliance copy. But I would focus less on if there's some specific non-compliant stuff in the copy. That doesn't matter. What matters is the principles that you're seeing right here. So, right, this first step of this money close, right, is you agree that you want to get the product. And that's great, but supplies are limited because the product is hard to source. Manufacturing is complicated. There's super high demand, stuff like that. Like, you want to get it. Oh, we're so awesome. So this is happening after you revealed the product. Here's the features and benefits. And we're like, all right, you want to get it. Awesome, but it might be kind of hard to get. Here's why. So in this case, for this stem cell restore one, right? So at this point, you're probably asking how you can get your hands on stem cell restore for yourself, along with how often you need to take it for best results. Well, to be honest, I wish it was easier for folks to gain access to this breakthrough, because as I mentioned repeatedly throughout this report, my goal is to make stem cell restore available to every American possible. But while it's my goal, the truth is that because every single bottle needs to be produced in a pristine, state-of-the-art facility, then kept fresh through a special proprietary encapsulation process, which only a few manufacturers in the world are able to do, and can take a very long time to produce every single bottle of stem cell restore. And because this truly is like a time capsule in a bottle, that was the promise for this letter, something you takes your body and your mind back to the way it was when you were young, while helping to refresh the cells in virtually all of your organs, your tissues, and your skin. Pretty much everyone who tries stem cell restore keeps asking for more of this stuff because they never again want to worry about growing old or feeling sore or having a foggy brain. So going back to that again, right? You want it, awesome. Unfortunately, supplies are limited because it's hard to source. Manufacturing is complicated. All of that kind of stuff. I agree, Kim. Yes, learning about compliance is important. And they're talking about how it's also become popular with many in the health profession, which is great, but there's even more of a strain on production, especially since it takes up to 3 months to custom create each batch. So again, we're building a bunch of scarcity around it. This is before we've revealed the price or told them to buy or anything like that. We're just building up this scarcity around it, making them feel like, worried about not being able to get it. Now, again, you can do this for any product. It could be like, like my coaching has become so popular that, I've got more and more people calling me every day, trying to to hire me, and people are sharing with their friends and their coworkers. And because of that, I really cannot work with that many people. And sometimes the waiting list to work with me is, up to 6 months long or a year long. So you can literally do the exact same thing with, coaching, like all kinds of stuff. It's just about if there's multiple packages or quantities. 3, because of the above, out of stocks are a very real risk, right? So in this copy, this letter that I'm sharing that I wrote back in 2019, as a result of the fact that stem cell restore is expensive to manufacture, takes up to 3 months to produce a single batch, and keeps selling out, I frequently don't have any stem cell restore available for the public. I'll explain. Why don't we get up a whole conversation about compliance later? I just want to be real and honest about that because, again, there's the claims on this don't matter at all. It's the principles of it. But not that it's because I brought up compliance, but I can answer that for you later, Alex. Basically, nobody goes to jail for their claims. You pay a fine, but you'd really rather not. You'd rather just be compliant. You sleep better at night. You're more you feel like a better human being, and you can sell just as well compliant as non-compliant. I just happen to have this example, and it's a really good example of the close, so that's why I'm using it. The fourth one I like is this idea of use the product for at least 30 days. That's, that way you get the most benefits. The more you use it, the better the results or the experience you have are. And that's why I or experts recommend you stock up on at least 3 bottles or 6 bottles if you want to be safe, then use it for 90 days or longer. This is sort of the, the idea of using this product. So again, coaching, the more coaching you do, the better. Results you'll tend to have. That's why I recommend you get the 3-month coaching package or the 6-month coaching package. That way I can really work with you. We don't start to have results and then you stop. So the principle being, keep using whatever you're buying right now. You're going to use it for a long period of time. So that's all we have here. How much stem cell restore do you need to take? Take 1 capsule each day for at least 30 days. The reason why is because while the ingredients go to work right away, what clinical studies have shown is the longer you take the ingredients inside stem cell restore, the more your body will benefit. And then we kind of talk about how one of the ingredients, the studies show that when you took the ingredient used it for 12 months, it had an even better effect on it. So it makes sense to keep using it, for that reason. Number 5, life with 1, 3, 6 bottles, or life with the gold package versus the platinum package. or whatever it is, right? The small package will help a little. The medium package will help a lot. The large package will set you up to be successful for the long haul. And so you'll see here in the copy here, the most stem cell restorer cost is a few pennies per day. And this is why so many health experts recommend that you choose at least 3 bottles at a time, and 5 bottles if you want to be completely safe. They had a 1-3-5. And take it for 90 days. That way you can guarantee you've done everything you can to restore your body's most vital organs and tissues. That's not a compliant claim at all. But point being, do that. And then we get to the price reveal for the lowest denominator package, the single bottle. But we don't show the call to action after. And that's also super important, right? So now, like, blah, 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 you can get it for a single bottle. You can order it for just $67 per bottle. And that's actually just the start. So that's a huge part of it, too. Like, we're not like, so click here now to buy your bottle. Because what's going to happen, people are going to click now. If you just showed a 1 bottle, 3 bottle, or 6 bottle, or you showed like a light package or a big package, and you just revealed the price of the smallest package, right? And then you like show how to the buy now stuff, then they're going to click on the lower package. They're way more likely to do that because they even though you've pumped them up about all of the reasons, like, let's give them another reason, and this comes back to pricing, right? We've created a special discount program where the more you order, the more you save. And remember, the longer you use it, the more benefit. Most people, I talk about this as smart people buy more, right? This idea of like the smart people are out buying more bottles, or they're buying the bigger package, whatever it is. They're also sharing it with families and friends, so there's an altruistic component. And when you stock up, you save big. So like here, because so many studies show that the longer you take the ingredients, the more you could benefit from them, because so many people have been ordering multiple bottles at a time. That way they can share with their family and friends as well. My team and I have created an even deeper discount program where right now when you stock up on 5 bottles, not only will you save $100, and not only will you get free shipping, but I will send you an extra bottle for free, which is another $67 value. So now, if you've been getting super sold on multiple bottles already, and now you get to this part here, and you can get 1 bottle for $67, but with this, you get a free bottle, which is worth $67. You save $100. You get like a free bonuses. You get all this awesome stuff. Like, which one are they going to take? Are they going to take the 1 bottle, or are they going to take this 5 bottle plus the free bottle one, right? Because you've built it up like really, really hardcore. Another note I've talked about with your design aspect with the money closed is always show images of the big package. So from the moment you introduce like the product, if it's like a supplement, show 6 bottle images the whole time. If it's like a program where there's like a gold and a platinum, show the platinum package the whole time. Because you want them constantly looking at the image and thinking about that one, and that's the one they want to buy. If you show a single bottle as an image the whole time, and then you say buy 6 bottles, they're primed for the 1 bottle. So we want to constantly be showing them the biggest package, right? Yeah, all the way from the beginning, Laura, exactly. From the first time you reveal the package, make it the biggest one. That's really important. And here's like, how they kind of showing them the call to action. And then that's when finally you actually have the call to action. It's not until you've gone through all of that stuff that you get to the call to action. But the AOV just increases tremendously when you do. Yeah, like I mentioned, it's not single units as well. So it's not claim your bottle, claim your whatever. It's order your package, get your supply, things like that. Right? We're, even the language we use, we're not saying, I made this mistake with my copy with supplement stuff where I'd say, click here to get your 30-day supply or your 30-day bottle. And then I was like, why the fuck am I saying that? That makes no sense. Why, like, click here to get the 6-month package or whatever package is right for you. That makes way more sense, right? Like, why, don't even talk about it. Pretend like the single package doesn't exist except for when you reveal the price, and then shit on that price and be like, that's the worst deal of all. Here are all the other better options you can have. Right? Trey said put an image of 48 bottles for your package best buy. But even that's funny because I know people who do like 12 bottle, like your supplies, like it can crush for them too. I mean, really, you can probably do bigger packages than you think. All right, I'm gonna go number 6, but let's pause for a second. Was the AOV money close? Again, you're gonna get the slides. I know we were going a little bit fast, but was that useful as a reminder, or if you've not seen it before, was it good to see the AOV money close? Dirk said, does it work for info products? Yes, but only if you have different packages. So if you had a bundle of 1 info product versus multiple ones, and things like that.
I have a feeling like if you did the digital versus physical, it would work for that.
Crush with that.
I think it would work for like the way Agora does a 1-year offer, 2-year offer for their newsletter.
Yeah.
I think it would work perfectly for that as well.
Yeah, and Dave Mastery said, I really need the videos. This is a lot. I would just go back to like, make a note of all this, digest it, percolate, and then pick at the end of the day, each day, 1 or 2 things you want to implement at a time. I think that's a really important way to do it. Don't get overwhelmed. Think about it. The way I benefit from these masterminds is I'm listening. I'll write ideas that are tangential, but not even directly related sometimes. And then let your brain do diffuse thinking. So, just later on when you're taking a shower or you're out doing a walk, whatever it is, think about what really works for you. So, like, we may fire hose you, but again, don't get overwhelmed.
One that came in, Dirk asked, how do you do it with info products because you don't have the limited quantity argument? I think in that example, you focus much more on the benefits of the bigger one. And kind of what Stefan talked about where like smart people take this package. That's kind of the angle I would go with.
Yeah, more benefits, exactly. You get more benefits with the bigger package. The last one is adding subscriptions, which is something that some of you do and a lot of you probably don't, including a lot of the big offer owners and people in our space aren't doing subscription right now. And it's something that kind of blows my mind because I did it for my company later in the game, and I'll show you some stuff about it. And I have an offer I invested in recently, and like we have subscription out the gate day one. Subscription is such a game changer, yet a lot of people do not do it. So, this one is more lifetime value, but I started doing it late in the game, like I said, with the first supplement company that I had, and I really wish I'd done it sooner. So basically, if you look here on this next slide that's going to come up, this was for my health supplement company, the first one I did. We had done like around 20 million in this period of time that I pulled, and we got an extra 1.3 million from subscription, and the refunds were 268,000. So we still got about 1.1 million dollars, and the margins on that were like 80%. The other thing is you can see the way we did it, which I'm going to share with you, is those are the cycles. Now, the ones that are 100%, I think someone got like 1 bottle of something, and that's why it shows as 100%. But as you can see, like there's like, cycle 2, cycle 3, cycle 4, cycle 5, cycle 6. So the amount of the cycles is basically how many times does somebody actually rebuild, right? They're on subscription, and then it's time for them to get another bottle or another package shipped to them. Do they say yes or do they say no? Do they cancel? How many cycles? So really, if you can be at a couple of cycles, that's great. We were pretty strong all the way into the 3rd or 4th cycle. So all we would do, I'm going to show you how I did this and how this always worked for me, is on the checkout page. This is really for a physical product type of thing, but you clearly can do it with membership programs, stuff like that on digital. There's a little box that says, subscribe and save. You can pick an amount, 15%, 10%, whatever it is, and then we don't, we're not checking it. Like, we're not doing anything shady. They have to check it. We're making it very clear, right? Subscribers will receive, a monthly supply, cancel anytime, right? But they get a savings. Lots of people, yeah, exactly. Very similar to Amazon. So we put that on our checkout page. It's just right below the card information. We would generally get about a 20% take rate. Like I said, not auto-selected at all. But here's some important stuff that we did. I don't know why they're all say 1, but we made it super clear on the receipt and the packing insert that they were on a subscribe and save option. So we were extremely transparent with all of this, and you're going to see why this is important in a moment. Another thing we did is that a few days before their rebill, they would receive an email reminding them of the benefits of the product and that they were going to get rebilled again. So, and it wasn't just you're getting rebilled. It's like, hey, hopefully you're having an awesome experience with the product. Remember, you bought it for these reasons. How's it been going? How are you feeling? You chose to subscribe and save. You're going to be getting billed again, so heads up on that. And then the third thing we would do is we would actually even call and tell them, hey, this is so-and-so from whatever support team. Just a reminder, you are on the subscribe and save option, so you're going to be being billed in 3 days from now for this amount. Is that okay? So this is like not, if you're want to maximize the amount of people who you rebill, this isn't the best strategy, but if you want to have people for a long period of time and have nobody be pissed off and not blow up your bank accounts and all that kind of stuff, this is the strategy. And this is data I pulled from Connective. we had 10,743 people on subscription packages. The whole time we did this, we had 39 chargebacks, which is a 0.36%, 36 of a 1% chargeback rate. And which is awesome because so many business owners, offer owners don't do subscription continuity because they're so afraid that the chargebacks, all this stuff's going to blow up. And it just does not need to at all if you're ethical, right? Like our bank was shocked. I remember we did this with Humboldt, and Adam, who's like the president of Humboldt, was like, everyone always says they're going to do this stuff, and it never works. And when he saw our chargeback rates, the guy was just mind blown. So, we lost about 50% of people. So 20% would opt in. About 50% of people would actually hit the first rebill cycle. But then for those 50% who did, they would stick through several cycles, and the lifetime value became dramatically more. To show you like the math on it here, so you'll see on this, this is a chart that's divided into two. So basically 100 customers per day, 20% subscription take rate. This is assuming that you're offering a 6-month subscription, 3-month, or a 1-month, and it goes from 100 down to 1,500 sales per day. And this is assuming that the take rate is 50%, like I said. So out of 100 people, 20 people subscribe and save on the checkout page, right? Out of that, 10 people take one option, 6 people take another, 4 people take another. But then looking at what the actual stick rates are, and if on average people stick for 2 billing cycles, and really going to like at the very, you can see how much additional revenue you can do per year. So whether that's 1.2 million all the way down to at 1,500 sales per day, doing at about 20% take rate on the checkout page, you can get to where that's an extra $18 million per year in revenue for you at probably an 85% margin, 90% margin. And if you think that's crazy, it's like, again, that's 1,500 sales per day. Think about the V-Shreds of the world that just did 250 million last year. They have multiple subscription components. I'm sure they would tell you that, you can make just massive amounts of money. So it's about LTV, AOV, and frankly, profitability. So if you're not doing subscription, I just really think it's super valuable. Justin, you want to do the recap here of everything we covered?
Yeah, so we're going to recap quickly what we just went over because I know it was a lot. So number 1 was the thank you page offers. That was all of the putting your own offers on there with one click, putting affiliate offers on there. The outbounds and the partials, that is basically just calling people after they order or calling the people who didn't fully fill out a form and getting them to convert to a sale. Ride-along offers is just a Magalog, gift certificate, catalog that goes along with their order that they can order more stuff. Duplicating your email list, so you're just making a second copy of your email list and of the new buyers that come in. AOV money close, you're just pushing people to get the bigger package if you have multiple packages that you're selling. And last is subscription, trying to get some form of subscription revenue off your front-end buyers. So, like I said, all 6 of these can add serious money to your AOV and your LTV. And like we said at the beginning, whether you're an offer owner, whether you're a copywriter, you can really use all these to make more money for yourself. So any questions you guys have, maybe we can take, 5 minutes of questions. Yeah,
maybe just a minute or two. I know we're a little behind, but it's all good. But I know there's been a lot of questions coming in. Like Sean has said, would it be good to introduce stuff in the rebill, like sample products? Yes, I think, sending them gifts, treat them well. Say it costs you an extra, someone's on a subscription for $100 a month, and it costs you $10, which is frankly really high probably, to send them some little gift in the mail. And because of that, they stay for another 3 months. It's like you're investing $10 to get $300, over the next several months there. By the way, so many people have been saying killer first session, which is awesome. Ed Ray did have a question on duplicating your list. He says, why don't you just segment your list and send more emails to those people? I think you do both, right?
You can do both.
Yeah. Awesome, Matt. We're going to kick it to you in just a second here. But for everybody, I know the answer. I hope I know the answer from seeing the chat. Are you all feeling good? Are you feeling pumped? Are you loving this stuff so far? We have so many more sessions. Again, don't get overwhelmed. Think about 1 or 2 things throughout the day to implement. But yeah, so good, epic, great stuff. Love it. Love seeing that chat just fly in the fire. Awesome, cool. Matt, we will be just kicking it back over to you here.